rest of Iowa was just waking up. 6:30 in the morning, Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard and some of his coaching staff, including wrestling coach Cale Sanderson, met the students who were already in line for the game to serve them breakfast. Then about at 11 o'clock, they finally opened the stadium gates to Jack Trice Stadium. In came the crowd. They're ready for a game between Iowa and Iowa State. A perfect day for football in Ames, Iowa, and it is the state matchup between the Iowa Hawkeyes and Iowa State. Moments ago, inside the Iowa State locker room, here's Gene Chizik.
I want you to play your butt off. I don't want you to ever look at that scoreboard. I want a small victory by every guy on every play. The small ones turn into big ones. Refuse to lose. Refuse to lose. Guys, but above everything else, I want you to have fun. I want to see small. I want you to play your freaking butt off. And I want to see you enjoy doing it. I want to see you enjoy doing it. Take it personal, play your butt off, and play it physical. That's what I need today. Play it physical. Ace breaking up.
All right, that's the quiet confidence of Iowa State head coach Gene Chizik, along with Kelly Stoffer. I'm Ron Thulin. We saw Gene. They've got a new coach at Iowa State, a new system, but they still have some proven players. Problem is they've stubbed their toe the last couple of weeks, Kelly. They're hoping today's the day everything comes together.
Well, it's somewhat of a tenuous time for Gene Chizik. He has to lay the foundation for the future, but count on players that have been here for 3 and 4 years, and the players on the offensive side of the ball really are Todd Blythe and Brett Meyer. They have to step up and get it done today in a big way. On the offensive side, they got to get on track. And then Alvin Ace Bowen, the tackling machine, he also has to get off today against this Iowa offense.
Well, let's go to the other side of the football, because for Iowa, for the first time in 3 years, they have a new quarterback and sophomore Jake Christensen. Problem is, he's got very young wide receivers. He's had to turn to his tight end so far this season.
You're absolutely right, but the best friend of a young quarterback is a tight end that can find those open spaces in zones, run away from man-to-man defense on those linebackers, and Moyaki is really stepping up. You talked about the void at wide receiver. Moyaki is stepping up. 3 touchdown passes 1 week ago.
Well, for Iowa State, they're hoping history repeats itself, because the last time they met at Ames, they upset then number 8 Iowa. They're hoping it happens again today. It's the Cy-Hawk Trophy on the line. It is in the stadium. Who will hold it high at the end of the game? We'll find out coming up on Versus.
Adventurous minds ask questions. Questions about the world around us and how to make it better. At Iowa State, we have one of the fastest supercomputers in the world to help us answer those questions. Discovering new truths, pushing the boundaries of knowledge, encouraging adventurous minds to be even more adventurous.
I'm looking for freedom. Freedom to go wherever I want, no matter how out there, to do the things I love. Chevy's my escape with the Silverado Z71. With a choice of Vortec engines that deliver over 300 horsepower and 20 more EPA estimated high miles per gallon, the Silverado offers power and economy, so I can spend my time hauling, not at the pump. An automatic locking rear differential provides more grip on slippery surfaces, while gas-charged shocks and off-road stabilizer bars help keep me on the trail. And the extended cab has rear doors that swing a full 170 degrees. That's wider than any other truck on the market, so the bed stays free to haul bikes or whatever gear my adventure calls for. And most importantly, my Chevy will be with me every step of the way, as every 2007 Silverado Z71 is backed by the GM 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty. Freedom is the all-new Silverado Z71 from Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
The dream is still alive, someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck.
This is a pen. A what? A pen. Oh, a pen. This is a cone. A what? A cone. Oh, a cone. This is a hole. A what? A hole. A hole! Ah!
Life comes at you fast.
Calling me?
Ron, am I covered?
Yeah, you're covered.
Ooh.
With our exclusive nationwide Blue Ribbon claim services, there's nothing to worry about after your car's been in an accident. We can even guarantee all repairs in writing for as long as you own the car.
Told you we were covered.
To switch to Nationwide, call an agent today.
Nationwide is on your side.
Big 12 Football on Versus is brought to you by Mediacom, home of the VIP bundle. Video, internet, and new phone service. Call 1-800-CABLE-TV today. And by Under Armour, the advantage is undeniable.
Everybody is pumped. A crowd of over 50,000 on hand, the hottest ticket in town. With more on that, the third member of our broadcast team. Here's Lewis Johnson.
Ron, you are looking at the hottest ticket in the state of Iowa and maybe the country if price is your gauge. 4,000 Iowa fans had a crack at these $90 tickets, and they're all gone, and I don't hear anyone complaining. Now, usually a game here at Iowa State runs about $45, but $90 because the demand for this game is so high. As a matter of fact, let me give this ticket back to Mr. Williams. Thank you, sir. Enjoy the game. Thank you. He's heading in to watch this thing, and just think about great rivalries across the country. USC, Notre Dame, Army, Navy. We don't know of any tickets with a face value of $90. Hey, Ron, I'm just glad we didn't have to pay to get in today.
Well, Lewis, we forgot to mention one little thing to you.
Yeah.
You're still outside the stadium. You got to get in. You better buy a ticket. It's a perfect day for football here in Ames, Iowa. Everything you could possibly want. It is cool. It's crisp. It's clear. We've got a sellout crowd. A lot of anticipation. We have two outstanding football coaches that are going to be part of this game this afternoon. Kirk Ferentz, of course, for Iowa, has done a great job, and Gene Chizik, former assistant of both Auburn and Texas, won the Frank Broyles Award for the top assistant a couple of years ago when he was with the Auburn Tigers. Mack Brown's #1 assistant the last couple of years. And, of course, for the Iowa Hawkeyes, the native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Kirk Ferentz in his 9th year. Julianis and Sandeman are back for Iowa. We have a strong win. We saw the ball already go off the tee. Iowa State did win the toss. They deferred. A couple of factors here. Number one, field position. Number two, there is a wind. It's going from your right to left. Brett Culbertson's kick. With the wind, say goodbye to this one. And Iowa will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. As you mentioned, first time in 3 years they've got a new quarterback. It was Drew Tate. Now it's Jake Christensen, a lefty out of Lockport, Illinois, coming off a 4-touchdown effort versus Syracuse. He has been consistent. They like this young man.
And what Iowa's going to want to do, obviously, establish the run that sets the table for their play-action passing game, and make no bones about it, Jake Christensen will find Moyaki probably sooner than later.
Iowa's only scored on their opening drive one time in the last year. That was in the Alamo Bowl. Here's Albert Young. Nothing doing. A swarming Iowa State defense, and he's going to lose a couple on the play. The offensive line for Iowa, very young. 3 sophomores, a redshirt freshman, and Seth Olson, he's the oldest, and he's just a junior at that right tackle spot. In the skill positions, they have a solid run game. They're going to split it between Albert Young, we just saw it, and Damian Sims. And when they need to, they'll go to Moyaki and Brodell at the wide receiver spot. 2nd down and 13, a loss of 3 on the play. They'll go from the I formation. Tom Bush is the fullback. Again, on the ground, getting back to the original line of scrimmage, it'll be Albert Young. Alan Bell on the stop. This Iowa State defense Let's take a look at the line. They've got to stop the run, and it depends on the two guys in the middle. Braxma and Rubin, they are pretty good. Linebackers, we're going to be calling Ace Bowen's name a lot. In 2006, he led the NCAA in tackles per game. Defensive backs has been a problem area in the past. 3 sophomores, only 1 junior, and that is Chris Singleton. 3rd down for Iowa. We'll call it 10. Rodell, Sandeman, and Cleveland, the wide receivers. Christensen's first pass. He's going for the home run ball, and it's going to be out of bounds, incomplete. Good coverage, though, by Alan Bell, step for step with the true freshman, Colin Sandeman.
And Alan Bell is that junior college All-American that Wayne Bolt told us yesterday, the defensive coordinator. They're very happy. They got exactly what they thought they were getting, which is kind of a shutdown corner guy that is very physical at the line of scrimmage.
Ryan Donahue, the redshirt freshman out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. One of the new kickers. This young man had a 90-yard punt in high school. Jannard Williams is back on his own 40, and this is going to be off the side of his foot. And a fair catch is called at the 43-yard line. We'll call it a 37-yard punt. No return. Iowa State will take over their first possession of the ball game. This Iowa State offense, they've been able to move the ball, but they just have problems with turnovers. The quarterback, of course, Brett Myers. This is his 39th career start, owns just about all the passing records at Iowa State. Last year's numbers were down from his sophomore year.
And remember that Brett Myers is learning a new system. He's being asked to read defenses really for the first time, where he has to go through his progression. He struggled with it, feels a little bit more comfortable coming into game number 3.
Well, Todd Blythe, his top receivers on the near side. They like to cover him with a cornerback. He goes over the middle, and he's got it. Maybe picked up 3 on the play. A.J. Eads was hanging on him to make the stop. The Iowa State offensive line, they had to replace 4 seniors. Tom Schmeling, a distant relative of Max Schmeling, has the most experience. And the skill positions, we've talked about Todd Blythe, but keep an eye on another one of the young wide receivers, R.J. Sumrall, a junior from Orlando, Florida. He has game-breaking ability. 2nd down and 6, pickup of 4 on the play. They want to get Blythe 5 to 8 receptions a game. J.J. Bass, the junior college transfer from Adelante Springs, Florida. First run of the ball game. Maybe picked up a few. Matt Kroll on the stop. This Iowa defense, they run a 4-3 for Norm Parker. Fundamentally sound. Haven't given up a touchdown yet. The line, Madison, King, Kroll, and Webema, they are experienced and good. Linebackers, 2 of the best in the Big Ten. Humpel and Klinkenborg. And the defensive back, Devin Moylan, is back. As free safety, NCAA gave him another year of eligibility. That's a plus for them. 3rd down and 5 for the Cyclones. Myers scrambling for his life. Has the first down and a couple more to spare. He steps out of bounds at the Iowa 40.
And Ron, this is what Brett Meyer brings to the table. He actually has the ability to make a play with his feet. Iowa likes to rush 4 and get pressure with 4. And what that a lot of times does, it opens up the edges for a guy like Brett Meyer, who has the ability to make a play just like that.
You talk about Norm Parker's offense. He used to be a blitzaholic, he said, but he plays what he doesn't mind calling a vanilla defense right now.
And they trust their scheme. It takes a lot for Norm Parker to want to bring pressure with a 5th guy.
J.J. Bass, he is hit right as the handoff occurs. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Mitch King, the junior out of Burlington, Iowa, on the stop. He's a big-time playmaker for this Iowa Hawkeye defense. No gain on the play. You can see what they did last week against Syracuse. This is just short of remarkable. I don't care who you play, Kelly.
Yeah, look at that bottom line there. Didn't allow a first down until 9:35 in the 3rd quarter. Half the game, more than half the game was already gone before Syracuse ever picked up 10 yards.
First 7 possessions, Syracuse 1 total yard. On first down, Meyer looking to go to the air. Steps up in the pocket, has a man open. It's Blythe. Inside the 35, and he'll skip out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Charles Godfrey, the cornerback out of Baytown, Texas, shoving him out of bounds.
What Iowa likes to do is play a zone defense, and you can see Blythe runs through the zone. And that's where Brett Meyer and Todd Blythe's relationship from the past is going to show up, because they have to be on the same page. Blythe has to run it through his zone, get to the next void, and Meyer has to read him.
Third down and short, just about one. They'll try the I formation. Pass. First down. To the 25-yard line before Devin Moylan came up to make the stop from the free safety spot. This is something that Iowa State has to do. They've got to be able to run the football, something they did in the early 2000s and kind of got away with it the last couple of years.
And run the football in situations like that. Third and short against a very active front seven for Iowa. That offensive line led by Brandon Johnson from Rushville, Nebraska, has to do a good job today.
Pickup of 6 on the play. First and 10. Meyer straight drop, looking in the end zone for Blythe. Trying to get position. Penalty flag is thrown. Blythe was working on Charles Godfrey. Godfrey, who gives up a couple of inches, just was trying to get around him, even though the jersey's off. Interference.
And start with the protection up front, and Blythe actually came from the inside and ran a fade route to the outside. You can see it right here. Godfrey trying to look back for the football.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
This is a Big Ten officiating crew.
There was a lot of infighting at the end of that throw, but almost always that's going to be called on the defensive side.
There's Kirk Ferentz. Says they've got a whole new intensity this spring. Last year was a wake-up call as the team finished 6-7, 2-6, tied for 8th place in the Big Ten. He says it was a wake-up call not only for the players but for the coaches. Said we really started to look at our program after the Minnesota game last year. Believe it, folks, this is still an outstanding football coach. First down and 10. End goal. Play action. Meyer into the flat. Caught. That'll go down to about the 5-yard line. Derek Catlin, the sophomore out of Fort Collins, Colorado.
Well, what you like to see right now to Brett Meyer is he has to be able to do that. Go to your checkdowns, your tight ends, your running backs. Derek Catlin that time was just simply leaking out into the flat. If nothing is downfield, Meyer has to be patient and be willing to come underneath. Catlin's
sort of in an H-back spot now as Sumrall goes out wide to the right. Blythe near side, Sumrall in motion. That's hit at the line. Maybe leans forward down to about the 3-yard line. First hit by Mike Humple, the senior out of New Hampton, Iowa. Humble is an outstanding player, was a super athlete in high school, won a state title in wrestling, placed in state track and field in the hurdles and discus. They like that young man.
And Iowa State hasn't had a problem moving the football this season. Their issue has been getting it into the end zone, and they have to be able to finish drives against Iowa this afternoon.
Moving Blythe around. Now he's in the slot. 3-step drop. Looking for him. Up in the air. Can't reach it. Blythe covered by Dalton on the play. Just hung up in the air a little too much.
Yeah, Blythe is actually the inside receiver and going outside, matched up against number 2, Harold Dalton. You can see Dalton reach out and grab his jersey and look at the other end. Just a little bit too far, but remember the jersey pull about 8 steps further back.
We're going to call this a 21-yard field goal by Brett Culbertson. He's 0 for 3 this year, but he's still the most accurate field goal kicker in Iowa State history. Good snap, good hold, and he's going to get his first of the year. Gene Chizik's squad has a good drive. They settle for the field goal with 10:02 left in the first from Ames.
Of all the numbers you encounter along your journey to wherever you're going, you'll find there's one number you can always count on for a great night's rest. Super 8, now with free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and more. Super 8, see you along the way.
Go someplace you never thought you'd ever be. Go climb a tree. Go to a place where great gear, great prices, and the great outdoors all meet up. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
Take a look at third quarter sales.
Going to Burger Town. Want anything?
If they still have the Can My Butt Look Any Bigger meal, will you get me one? Me too. And I'll have the extra tight pants combo.
Tom?
How about the feel so bloated I just want to sleep for 3 days meal?
The same. And a bucket of please keep your shirt on.
Instead, try the new Subway Fresh Fit meal that fits the American Heart Association's approach to a healthy lifestyle. Now with more tasty choices like new hearty wheat bread and low-fat yogurt. Subway. Eat fresh.
When their team lost hope,
funeral's in today.
One man taught them.
Let's push them to the limit, man.
Where to find it.
This is who we are.
3 breaks and a whistle blow.
Matthew McConaughey.
We are
Marshall. Buy it Tuesday on DVD and on demand.
Now technology and simplicity have come together to create a cell phone unlike any other.
Bigger buttons, bigger numbers. Give me a try it. Jitterbug is the perfect cell phone for me and my mom.
It's nice how the numbers light up.
Wow, how about that? The soft ear cushion really makes a difference. Every word comes through loud and clear.
No cutesy symbols, no flashing lights, just a great phone.
This is good. Jitterbug is the cell phone my parents will actually use.
Special operators can assist you 24 hours a day.
May I add that name to your phone list, Mrs. Davis?
Call now, 1-800-832-0082. A Jitterbug is yours with 3 easy payments of $49. Service as low as $10 a month. Call today and get a free car charger.
Series between these two teams began in 1894. Iowa State won the first game 16-8. Series was dormant for 42 years. Finally, in 1977, they decided to start playing each other again. Right now, Iowa State with a 3-0 lead. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Sandeman and Koulianis back. End-over-end kick. This will be 6 yards deep, and Sandeman will take a knee again. Let's take a look at our Under Armour advantage for today's game.
Key number 1 is Iowa State must secure the football. Turnovers this year probably prevented them from starting the season 2-0, and Iowa can't allow Meyer to beat them, and Meyer is off to a great start already on the day. And both teams, Ron, in this emotional rivalry have to manage their emotions because emotions lead to turnovers.
Young and Bush, I formation. They were curious how Christensen would handle the noise level today. Young up to the 25-yard line. One of the keys for that Iowa State defense, and defensive coordinator Wayne Bolt was telling us yesterday, they've got to get off the field in third down. Opponents right now this year 40% on third down. He says that just can't happen today.
Yeah, the way they get off the field is they have to be stout against the run. Iowa is going to want to lean on them early in this game in that zone blocking running scheme. Iowa State has to be very stout in the front 4.
Couple of tight ends, 2nd down and 5. Iowa State shows blitz. And when they do, Iowa beats them on the run. James Smith has to come up to stop Albert Young. Iowa State wants to blitz on the run, though.
Yeah, Iowa State will blitz on run and pass, but their run blitz has to hit their mark. Watch the cutback. This is what Iowa State has to be disciplined in. What Iowa likes to do is they'll start the run to one side, and then Young in particular likes to cut it back against the grain. They have to be disciplined on that backside of the defense.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Christensen, the southpaw, flushed out of the pocket. Flicks it up to the 45-yard line. Pass is caught. Tony Moiaki out of Warrensville South High School in Wheaton, Illinois, with his 12th catch of the year. Pickup of 11 on the play.
So, Ron, what happens after a couple of successful runs? Play action pass. Who does Jake Christensen find? The big tight end, Tony Moiaki, just like we talked about at the top. A young quarterback likes to find the tight end because usually the tight end's route is defined much quicker than guys outside.
They want to get Christensen throws that he's comfortable with early on in this game. 1st down again, straight ahead running, this time the Iowa State defense there to stop the ball carrier after pickup of about 1.5 yards. Albert Young hit by Ace Bowen. Ace Bowen, the senior out of East Orange, New Jersey. That is a far cry from Ames, Iowa. Talked to him yesterday, said, where would you be if you didn't have football and you weren't here? And he said it would not be good.
And Ace Bowen is one of those guys that Gene Chizik really had to sell on what he wants to get done here. Because Bowen is that energy level guy on the defensive side, and I think Bowen has bought into what they want to do now at Iowa State.
Christensen, quick drop, slant in, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Colin Sandeman, the true freshman out of Bettendorf, Iowa. Chris Singleton, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida, with the big-time hit. I think Mr. Sandeman got a welcome to college football on that play.
Singleton is just sitting in a zone, and it was a slant, but Christensen had to hesitate just a little bit because of the underneath coverage. It gave Singleton time to break on that ball and blow up that play.
3rd down and 9, and it is loud at Jack Trice Stadium. Here comes 5 on the blitz. Fumble! I think Iowa State may have the football. We'll wait for the official. No, they're saying that Christensen scooped it up. Ace Bowen, the man we were just talking about, he's going to be credited with the hit. Outstanding play by Bowen.
I asked Ace yesterday, when your defensive coordinator wants to get pressure, are you the best pressure guy? And he was reluctant to say yes, but I knew he was. I knew the answer to that question.
And there's his mother sitting in the stands. Our man Lewis Johnson will have more on that coming up in a minute or two. But again, another 3rd down situation that Iowa State held, and they got off the football field. At the 30. Hit at the 35-yard line. Gennard Williams. That's where Iowa State will take over. They lead the Iowa Hawkeyes 3-0.
Luann has a knife!
Put the knife down.
Luann, what are you doing?
I'm having lunch from KFC. It's real food, which requires a fork and a knife.
It's KFC, people.
Have a real meal for lunch. Come to KFC for any of our new $2.99 deals. World-famous chicken, choice of a side, and a flaky biscuit. Grab lunch for just $2.99. KFC chicken now has the same great taste with 0 grams of trans fat per serving.
Introducing the all-new all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza. 4 doors, 5 doors, and unlimited possibilities.
Communicate in less than a second with Nextel Direct Connect.
Nice work.
The largest and fastest push-to-talk network on the planet. That's getting it done at sprint speed. Visit sprint.com/Nextel.
Millions of Americans have made Hydroxycut the #1 selling weight loss product because it works.
I'm Lynn from Ontario, and I lost 26 pounds fast. Hydroxycut really works.
I'm Greg from Utah, and I lost 37 pounds fast.
Subjects using the patented primary ingredients in Hydroxycut lost an average of up to 4.5 times the weight than with diet and exercise alone.
I'm Brandy from LA, and I lost 21 pounds fast. Hydroxycut really works.
Get yours at hydroxycut.com. Supercenters, GNC, Walgreens, and fine retailers everywhere.
2 teams, 2 schools, 1 football.
Deshaun Jackson leads the 8th-ranked and undefeated Cal Golden Bears into a Pac-10 clash when they host the Arizona Wildcats. 1 loss is 1 too many. Versus college football, Arizona Cal, next Saturday at 6.
6:57 left to play in quarter number 1. Iowa State's had a lot to cheer about. They've done a nice job defensively. They lead 3-0 over the Iowa Hawkeyes. J.J. Bass in the backfield. Meyer back to pass into the flat. Caught up to about the 37, 38-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Not much of a gain. Along with Kelly Stauffer, Lewis Johnson, I'm Ron Thulin, welcoming you to Jack Trice Stadium. An outstanding crowd on hand, close to a sellout. Weren't sure if they'd crack that 50,000 barrier. Last week they set a school record as far as people in the stands. Said they shoehorned about 56,000 in. Up the middle, Bass. Close to midfield, and he'll fall forward to the 50-yard line. We talk about the running game, but I think it really starts with Brett Meyer showing confidence at that quarterback spot.
When Brett Meyer is doing things in the passing game, it's going to open up the running game and vice versa. But what Iowa State is doing right now is they're spreading the field. They're putting Meyer in shotgun sometimes, but they're still wanting to emphasize the run. Get Iowa out in open spaces and make them execute and tackle well in that environment.
Brett Meyer's been in this game before. He understands what it's all about. And he'll keep it, tucks it, runs. 40, cuts to the left side, down to the 37-yard line. Pickup of 13 for Brett Meyer.
Well, that's an example of what we're talking about. You spread the Iowa defense, and then you do stuff like this. Brett Meyer is really just another running back. Obviously, he can throw the football. We've already seen him effectively in that department, but put him in the shotgun, let him be a little spontaneous and use his feet a little bit.
You saw the numbers on him. Those are impressive numbers. Not known for his running ability, but he has the ability. Meyer, here comes the blitz. Pass complete to Sumrall. Still on his feet, inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. R.J. Sumrall with his 10th reception of the year. 7 catches against Northern Iowa was his career high this season.
And once again, Iowa in their zone. Meyer knows what he's going to get out of that defense from Iowa, but he has to be on the same page with his receivers. That time the throw was a little bit behind Sumrall. Did a nice job of adjusting to it and getting upfield for extra yards.
14 on the pickup. On first down. Bass tries to bounce to the outside. Good job by that Iowa defense, maybe picking up a yard on the play. J.J. Bass is a junior college guy out of El Camino Junior College, and one of the things Iowa State coaches did, and it wasn't by design, they just had a lot of contacts with JUCO coaches around the country, but they bring in J.J. Bass, and Gene Chizik said, we didn't bring him here to sit on the bench and back up.
Yeah, and you've seen his ability running the football thus far this season, and it's an added shot in the arm. And Brett Meyer told us there's more versatility at the running back position this year than in the past.
And that was a question mark. Meyer, nice play fake, trying to get to the edge, doesn't get the block, but he does get down to the 19-yard line, setting up third down. A.J. Eads already with his 4th tackle of the afternoon.
Ron, that's a tough play to try to get yards on Iowa's defense on the edges. It's very tough because what Iowa does is they secure the gaps and they leave the furthest gap actually vulnerable, but they have such good pursuit and they're very disciplined in the way that they approach the defensive side of the ball.
Here's longtime defensive coordinator Noam Parker. 3rd down and 6. Has some time into the flat. Caught. Catlett. They'll mark it, let's see, at about the 17-yard line. That'll be short of the first down. Charles Godfrey coming up for his 3rd stop of the afternoon. Godfrey's got a little pedigree. His older brother was El Roberson, the outstanding quarterback for Kansas State a few years ago.
But I like Meyer's decision makings thus far, Ron. He's willing to go underneath. And remember, offensive coordinator Robert McFarland said, we have to be more patient than Iowa. And Iowa has won a lot of games by being patient.
33-yard field goal attempt. Culbertson already has one today. Snap is down. The kick on its way, and it is good. Culbertson, who started the season 0 for 3 kicking field goals, 2 for 2 this afternoon. Still in the first. Iowa State 6, Iowa nothing.
Men's Rogaine Foam. The first and only foam that's FDA approved to regrow hair. It goes on easy and dries quickly. So now, getting your hair back could be the easiest part of your routine. Men's Rogaine Foam. Use it or lose it.
Oh. Damsel in distress. Watch and learn. The Wizard. Little help, miss? I got it. Freak.
You can't always be smooth, but your beer should be. With a specially lined can to seal in the taste, Keystone Light is always smooth, even when you're not.
Hey, my man, you know where the chips are? Let's get you home.
Of all the numbers you encounter along your journey to wherever you're going, you'll find there's one number you can always count on for a great night's rest. Super 8, now with free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and more. Super 8, see you along the way.
Well, the battery's good, so I figure it's the alternator. So I go down to AutoZone, and the guy says, well, let's test it first. Might not be a problem. Turns out it's just a bad cable. You know, with AutoZone, piece of cake.
This September, one man screams comedy.
Are you crippled and deaf?
He's not at the gym. He's not on TV.
No, Mr. Woodcock.
You threw a chair at your brother?
He's only in a theater near you. For the comedy event of the fall, you need to know one name.
Woodcock.
Woodcock.
Pollo Madera.
Woodcock.
My mom's about to marry the Antichrist.
Mr. Woodcock. Rated PG-13. Now playing only in theaters.
The intensity is really starting to build here at Jack Trice Stadium along with Kelly Stoffer, Lewis Johnson. I'm Ron Thulin. 6-0 Iowa State leading with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the opening quarter. That Iowa State defense, you have to give them credit because they've only allowed 14 yards to Iowa today, only 2 first downs, and that's kind of turning the table what the Iowa defense has done to opponents this year so far. Kicking with the wind again. This is going to be a little bit shorter. It's going to Sandeman, who bobbles it in the end zone, and he wisely, the true freshman, takes the knee. They'll get it back at the 20-yard line. Good job on kickoffs. Hey, our lucky winners from last weekend on our Aflac trivia question. Donna Marks from Menasha, Wisconsin. Jared Hunt from Draper, Utah. Just a reminder, our Aflac home versus away trivia challenge will be coming up in quarter number 2. So you better get your cell phones ready for your chance to win a couple of great prizes. Each game, one lucky fan is going to win a plasma TV. And play along all season, you have a chance to win the grand prize, which is a trip for 2 to the 2008 Hula Bowl in Hawaii. The crowd again roaring. Christensen having to change things up at the line of scrimmage. Eubanks the center. Little play action. The southpaw into the flat up to the 24-yard line is James Cleveland, the redshirt freshman out of Robert E. Lee High School in Baytown, Texas. All over the field this afternoon, you will see Ace Bowen, as we mentioned at the top of the show, led the NCAA in tackles per game, 12.9 tackles per game, taking a little breather on the sideline at this point. Pick up a 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 for Iowa. Moiaki dancing around in the backfield. He looks for the block. Comes up with a little chip up to the 29-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. Let's go set it down on Lewis Johnson with more on Ace Bowen. Lewis.
Well, Ron, I have Ace's mom, Angela Robinson, here in the stands. She flew in from New Jersey to watch the game. And not only is your son taking care of business on the field, but off the field, he has your younger son, Jamar, here, 12 years old, living with him. Tell us how that developed and why is Jamar here with Ace?
Jamar was getting out of hand and would not listen to me, so I asked Ace if there was anything that he could do about it. I talked to him, talking wasn't helping. So he said he gonna bring him out here and see if he could make a change.
How do you think that's worked for both of the young men? Has it really helped Jamar?
I think it does help Jamar a lot. I could see the change in Jamar, and I see Ace being a big role model and acting as an older brother taking care of his younger brother and also helping me out in the process.
And finally, what's it like to sit out here on a Saturday afternoon and watch your son Ace do his thing?
You have no idea what is going through my whole body. I am so excited. It is so nice to see how far Ace has come. I wish the team all the luck today.
All right, enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Ron,
Thank you, Lewis. What a great story. Christensen, no pressure. Now here it comes, and he is going to be dropped for the second time back at the 32-yard line. That closing defense, it didn't look like there was a lot of pressure, but Nick Freer finally came up from that defensive end spot for his first sack of the year.
It was all due to very good coverage in the secondary. Wayne Bolt, the defensive coordinator you see right there, is feeling pretty comfortable right now, Ron, because what he's doing is playing a lot of man-to-man defense in the secondary with the safety. In that case, it was James Smith playing center field, and then man-to-man across the board.
Loss of a yard on the play, second down and 11. Moiaki moving. Straight ahead running up over the 35-yard line to the 38-yard line. Jesse Smith on the stop of Albert Young, the senior out of Morristown, New Jersey. Here is Young, who had over 1,300 yards his sophomore year, led the Big Ten in yards per carry. Little injury plague last year, kind of dinged up just a little bit, didn't get quite the yardage last season.
And that's the thing, he's a dependable receiver, but durability has been an issue. If he can stay on the field, he's obviously a tremendous asset to this Iowa offense.
Final 30 seconds of the opening half. Koulianis, Cleveland, Brodell, the wide receivers on 3rd down and 6. Christensen, here comes the pressure. He's going to scramble. This is his strong side. Flicks it downfield. Incomplete. No penalty flag. Intended for Moiaki.
Guess who was on the coverage? Elvin Ace Bowen was out there once again. And remember, Tony Moiaki is going to be a favorite target for Jake Christensen because of the lack of experience at wide receiver. Watch Ace close the gap. Does a good job right at the end of finding the football. That was a very nice play out in coverage, out in space by Ace Bowen.
Yeah. Another punt. The 3rd of the afternoon for Donahue. He's got a good solid leg, and this is not very good. Way off the side of his foot. That punt did not go very far for the redshirt freshman out of St. Rita High School in Evergreen Park, Illinois. They're going to mark it at about the 48-yard line.
Right now, Ron, you can sense it in the stadium. Everything that needs to go right early for this Iowa State team has gone right for them, including that special teams snafu right there by Donahue.
Only 14 yards, Kelly, on that kick. And talking to both coaches before the game, and both of them said, hey, special teams. Yeah. That is a huge factor in this emotion-filled game. So now Iowa State with outstanding field position. This will be the final play of the opening quarter. Meyer tucks it. His second run of the afternoon. Leans forward inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. 14 on the pickup, and the clock will stop with 2 seconds left in the quarter.
And Ron, Iowa right now is getting absolutely no push up front. It's giving Meyer time to make good decisions. Nothing is there down the field, and then that's when this young man becomes dangerous. When he decides to become a runner, he's a very efficient runner with the football.
Brett Meyer, 4 carries, 42 yards as quarter number 1 comes to an end, and Iowa State leads it 6-0.
Only the Nissan Titan has a Utilitrack cargo system and the longest crew cab bed in its class. You choose the tie-down points, you choose the angle. Because Nissan thinks when you put something in your bed, it should stay there. The new 2008 full-size Nissan Titan, the Titan of trucks. Now get up to $3,500 Nissan cash back or 1.9% APR financing.
You hear about Pensky? No. Got hurt, missed work. Thought his major medical was enough. Poor guy. Didn't have Aflac.
What does Aflac do?
Let's say this is major medical, right? Well, see the hole? That's where Aflac comes in. Helps pay for groceries, rent, All kinds of bills. Major medical? Poor Fensky. He thought he had enough coverage.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Yeah.
Don't miss the Yamaha Y-Weight sales event going on now. Now get payments as low as $69 a month till 2010, plus up to $300 cash back.
Now technology and simplicity have come together to create a cell phone unlike any other.
Bigger buttons, bigger numbers. Give me a try it. Jitterbug is the perfect cell phone for me and my mom.
It's nice how the numbers light up.
Wow, how about that? The soft ear cushion really makes a difference. Every word comes through loud and clear.
No cutesy symbols, no flashing lights, just a great phone.
This is good. Jitterbug is the cell phone my parents will actually use.
Special operators can assist you 24 hours a day.
May I add that name to your phone list, Mrs. Davis?
Call now, 1-800-832-0082. A Jitterbug is yours with 3 easy payments of $49. Service as low as $10 a month. Call today and get a free car charger.
Quarter number 1 is in the books. Iowa State with a 6-0 lead after the first. Kelly Stoffer, Lewis Johnson, Ron Thulin with you at Jack Trice Stadium, Ames, Iowa. This Iowa defense has already given up 63 yards rushing. They gave up a total of 45 yards rushing the first 2 games combined. Here's J.J. Bass. They'll mark it down at the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Maybe 3.5. Mike Klinkenborg, the solid middle linebacker out of Rock Rapids, Iowa. First team academic All-American. Second team Big Ten. In tackles per game last year. Just about 11 tackles a contest. Here's Brett Myers. Great decision making so far for the senior quarterback. Bass straight up the middle, hits a big pile of black jerseys, fall forwards to the 32-yard line. 1 loss is too many. Up next, the 11th ranked undefeated Bruins of UCLA head to Utah to tangle with a Mountain West Conference team that's not afraid to let the football fly. It's on. College football at Versus next. Carl, their own team have high hopes for this year. They got that December 1st game with USC circled, hoping they'll be undefeated come that day. A lot of football between now and then. 3rd down and 4. Sumrall in motion. Meyer sidearms it. They had the first down, may have lost it. It was Blythe. Let's see if he leaned forward enough, and he did. He did get the first down to the 26-yard line. Kelly, was one of those catches where he looked like he kind of went backwards a yard after he made the reception.
Yeah, but his experience showed up in the end, because you're right. He was getting ready to lose the first down, but decided otherwise. And at 6'5", he didn't have to stretch very far to pick it back up again. But a very good decision once again by Brett Meyer. I love the way this young man is managing this game, making decisions, the right decision time and time again.
He's got a fresh set of downs. A little cutback with J.J. Bass. May have made it down to the line of scrimmage, which is about the 26-yard line. Adam Shada coming up, the senior out of Omaha, Nebraska. From that quarterback spot.
I just think that type of misdirection stuff is barking up the wrong tree if you're Iowa State. Iowa is so disciplined in their scheme. Norm Parker has run the same system year after year. His players have a very, very good understanding of what's expected, and they very seldom are out of position.
You've got to beat them with patience on offense at Norm Parker defense. Meyer looks to put it up, sidearms it, passes incomplete, intended for Catlett. See the scores in the bottom of your screen. We'll keep you posted on what's going on. So far, Iowa State, the leaders. Meyer, 6 of 7. Add one more incompletion on that. Now 6 of 8 for 38 yards. But the big thing, I think, is the 4 carries for 42.
Yeah, that's where he's in that 42 yards is decision making, because nothing was downfield, and except for one which was the quarterback draw. He's improvised, making good decisions.
3rd down and 9. They're 3 of 5 on this occasion. Meyer into the flat. Bass makes the catch, and he'll barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job by A.J. Eads and Mike Blinkenborg in that linebacker spot, just corralling the speedy Bass.
You know, we've seen Iowa State really dominate this game thus far, but this is Iowa's defense at its finest. Force the throw underneath, drive on the football, make a secure tackle, and force another field goal try. Now, the question, Ron, to me is, Iowa State is moving the football right now, but are they settling for too many field goals? That's the question.
And that comes up and gets you sometimes. This will be a 42-yarder for Culbertson. He's 2 for 2 so far. Snaps down, the kick. Is it going to hang on? Yes! Culbertson perfect this afternoon. Good news is you lead 9-0. But are you settling for field goals? We'll be back to Ames, Iowa in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our meeting, where I'd like to start with...
Hi, could I get a cheeseburger, some curly fries, and a medium...
Get some glasses! Our fries don't curl!
Hey, Happy Socks! Call that a hedge?
You don't do it anywhere else, so why do it at the game? Be a good sport. Brought to you by the Big 12 Conference of NCAA Football.
NHL 2K8's Pro Stick features full 360-degree puck control and authentic moves with 2K's signature style. End-to-end is as intensely real as NHL action gets.
Hey, Spez, the new goaltending system's pretty good too, eh?
Whatever, Turks. Goalies.
NHL 2K8, rated E10 for everyone 10 and up.
Hey, I was just about to call you.
More bars in more places. That's what you can expect from the new AT&T. The largest digital voice and data network in America. So switch to the network you can trust. AT&T. Your world delivered.
Introducing the all-new all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza. 4 doors, 5 doors, and unlimited possibilities.
One of the Pac-10's most potent offenses is on display when UCLA locks horns with Utah. Versus college football, next.
Iowa State so far doing everything they've wanted to do. They're stopping the run as Iowa only has 16 yards on 10 rushes running the football. They've gotten off the field on 3rd down, holding Iowa to just 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. So far, exactly what the coaches said were the keys. They're coming to fruition, but we still have a lot of time left.
And the only chink in the armor, I think, is not finishing drives with touchdowns. In this game, I have a feeling you're going to need more than a handful of field goals.
Now Iowa State will be kicking into the wind. Juliana Sandeman back at about the 5-yard line. We've already seen them move up. Field position has been big so far because Iowa State has really dominated that. You see the wind on top of the stadium. Iowa State has started most of their possessions in outstanding field position. But they are kicking. Oh, this is a little lubber. And that'll go down right at the 33-yard line. Was that by design? We don't know. Hey, Lewis Johnson, you're standing by that Iowa bench. What's the mood down there?
Well, Ron, you know, when you walk these sidelines long enough, you kind of have a sense of when you think a big fiery speech is coming because things are not going well. They're down 9-0. But what's so interesting is that Iowa right now really has a sense of calm on their bench. I've been watching their position coaches really going methodically over what they need to tweak and change. Kirk Ferentz has been walking up and down saying, okay, this next possession, we need to take it down and score. But there's no panic, no screaming, no yelling. They seem under control on the sideline. Ron?
1st and 10. Christensen, little play action pass, has some running room, throws it across his body off the hands of Moiaki. This is a team that had problems dropping balls in that opening game. They dropped 8 passes, Kelly.
Yeah. You know, we talked about the lack of experience at wide receiver, so Moiaki has been Jake Christensen's favorite target, but obviously if we know that, Iowa State knows that, and Iowa State isn't letting him run through those zones very freely. When they do play zone, they squeeze on Moiaki every time he's in the neighborhood.
There you see the Iowa leaders through the first 15 minutes of play. Christensen only 2 of 6 throwing the football. They'll go back to their bread and butter, which is the ground game. And Damian Sims, who's checked into the lineup, he gets about a yard on the play. The senior from Boynton Beach, Florida, 78 yards away from 2,000 all-purpose yards.
And their bread and butter is running the football, as you just said, Ron, because then what they like to do is play action pass over the top. The first 2 games, 287 yards. Today, they're going nowhere.
How about that? 18 yards today. 3rd down and 9. They're only 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Sims is in the backfield. Christensen from the shotgun. Looking left, locks on his receiver, going deep. It's floating, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Sandeman, and Alan Bell was with him step for step. That ball got underneath the wind, and it just kept floating.
Well, when the defense gets ahead and down in distance, they dictate what happens on 3rd and 9. And that's exactly what Iowa State did there. They went a cover 2. They force a throw to the sideline. And Ellen Bell is going to win that matchup with Sanderman most of the day.
Well, Jernard Williams is back on his 15. Iowa State was showing like they were going for a block. Good snap kicking with the win. It's going to be a short kick. Williams, 24-yard line. Spins up over the 35 to about the 36-yard line. 42 on the kick. 14 on the return. 10:42 left in the half. Iowa State leads it by 9.
Of all the numbers you encounter along your journey to wherever you're going, you'll find there's one number you can always count on for a great night's rest. Super 8, now with free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and more. Super 8, see you along the way.
Go someplace you never thought you'd ever be. Go climb a tree. Go to a place where great gear, great prices, and the great outdoors all meet up. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
Now technology and simplicity have come together to create a cell phone unlike any other.
Bigger buttons, bigger numbers. Let me try it. Jitterbug is the perfect cell phone for me and my mom.
It's nice how the numbers light up.
Wow, how about that? The soft ear cushion really makes a difference. Every word comes through loud and clear.
No cutesy symbols, no flashing lights, just a great phone.
This is good. Jitterbug is the cell phone my parents will actually use.
Special operators can assist you 24 hours a day.
May I add that name to your phone list, Mrs. Davis?
Call now, 1-800-832-0082. A Jitterbug is yours with 3 easy payments of $49. Service as low as $10 a month. Call today and get a free car charger.
2 teams, 2 schools, 1 football. Deshaun Jackson leads the 8th-ranked and undefeated Cal Golden Bears into a Pac-10 clash when they host the Arizona Wildcats. One loss is one too many. Versus college football, Arizona-Cal, next Saturday at 6.
Bluetooth hands-free link, MP3 connectivity, ELS surround sound. All the luxuries of the modern world. To go, the Acura TL. Acura. Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura TL for well-qualified customers.
With his team trailing 9-0, quarterback Jake Christensen getting stretched.